But let's move on to our final topic, and it's going to be the Summer League.
Woo!
Orlando Summer League wrapped up, and Utah wrapped up. I don't think there's an actual champion for the Utah League. I think they just play. There's six. I think there's 6 teams, and they play back and forth. I think it's the 76ers, Celtics, Spurs, and Jazz, or 4 teams, something like that. But anyways,
are you weirdly excited for Summer League? Because I'm weirdly excited for Summer League.
I've been watching Orlando. Vince Carter's been killing it on the mic.
Orlando's been doing good.
Orlando Blue won the Orlando Summer League, and I think Utah one was about 3 days. Who's impressed you so far out of these rookies and out of these players that you've seen in the Summer League?
It's Ben Simmons. We all knew he was good coming in, but watching him play against guys who have either been in the league for 1 to 2 years, some NBA D-leaguers who are trying to get their chance, or fellow rookies, he is so good. His passing touch is phenomenal. He has great vision. The only thing I feel bad about is his teammates don't even realize the pass is coming half the time. They're gonna have to get used to that, but the man has a wonderful touch on the ball, and look, he can pull down boards. He can still score. Scoring he's got to get a little bit more comfortable with, but look, he is as advertised at this point to me.
Well, and here's the thing. The best thing about Ben Simmons is his passing. There was that one bounce pass that we watched,
like 1,000 times
on loop, where it was just he's looking this way, passing over that way, and it was just spot on. Here's the one problem I have with the Summer League is for guys like Ben Simmons, it's one of those things where, yes, we can see, okay, you need some development here where he's really good here. But like you said, most of the guys he's going up against on the hard end he's going up against guys like himself just coming in, D-leaguers, and guys that have been in the league 1 or 2 years.
Unless you're Michael Beasley.
If you are...
Be easy, baby.
Unless you're be easy. But if you're a guy like Ben Simmons, I expect you to own these guys. I expect you to play better than the guys that have been here 1 to 2 years, or at least hold your own against a guy like D'Angelo Russell, who's been going into his second year and looked pretty good with the Lakers. It just makes me go, fuck this. I want to see him play against the big boys already.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we want to see that happen, but
I'll take what I can get for now.
I know.
The finals just ended, Ricky. Calm down.
I know, but I just want to see him go.
Just got drafted.
They need to rest.
More.
They need a summer off. They
Literally
need the Olympics.
just got drafted. I mean, you just got to relax here. I mean, but the thing is, the thing is with the Summer League is obviously there's some parts of the Summer League that is flawed. They're not going up against the greatest competition, but they are going up against guys who have been in the pro game for a decent time. I mean, you look at a guy who didn't blow me out of the page, but kind of made me say, all right, I can see his game. It's Thon Maker. I know you're having a heart attack and panicking over that.
Deep breath.
But you kind of made the point of maybe this is how you would show if you went to college and played in the college game.
Yeah, the level of competition in Summer League is similar, if not a little higher than college.
Yeah, and the thing with that, I mean, and maybe the guys aren't trying as hard as college. I mean,
well, that's true.
It's a Summer League.
You see some easy buckets
outside of the guys who are trying to desperately improve.
Yeah.
But I mean, with a guy like Thon Maker, it's more of looking like, all right, what does he have to his game, and what can he contribute to an NBA team? And what I saw is obviously the length that he has, and the length made him dominate on the boards.
He soaks up rebounds.
Yeah, he soaks up rebounds, and if you're gonna bring that to a team right away, I mean, that's gonna be huge there. And then that obviously led to scoring points scoring chances under the basket. And then he also had some great closeouts on shots, and I think that his stroke looks decent enough. And the thing is I was expecting him to get bullied or lost in the game at first, but he didn't look lost. He didn't look like he was uncomposed or kind of shaky or out there. He looked composed. He looked like he can at least handle some of the pressures of the NBA game right away.
And the part where you say get bullied, I want to put a pause button on that one, because in the Summer League, like you said,
he's not going up against Boogie Cousins.
Some guys aren't going 110%, and also there could be some guys that look up and go, "Holy shit, that's Thon Maker."
I don't think there's that moment.
Doing that.
Like the younger kids that are like, "Oh my God, this is the kid."
I mean, he is 23, so there are younger kids than him there.
He's really and plus he's really tall compared to some players.
I think they're used to it.
When you get to a guy who's been in the league, like even like a Boogie Cousins, no one's going to be intimidated by him, and he's not going to be the one bullying people.
I don't think
it's going to be how can you
him.
stand up. I just want to, for Thon Maker, it's how can you stand up to the vets? He's a guy where it's like, okay, I expect you to have a good performance in Summer League. Not as good as dominating 18-year-olds because you're 23, but I expect you to have a good Summer League.
Yeah, well,
the guy
you expected Thon Maker to have a good summer league?
A decent one. I mean,
why is that?
We look at what he brings to the table potentially is great. And most of the guys in Summer League, like you said, are guys that are still working to develop, fighting for roster spots. These aren't the guys that are like perfected their craft and are the elite pros of this game. So if he's got it's one of those things
it's still
how far can talent take you?
Yeah, but I mean, we're still talking like top 1,500 players in the NBA. I mean, when you think of the best 1,500 people at something in the world, that's still pretty good company to play against. I mean, I know there's a very large difference between the top and the bottom of that talent scale, but these are still professionals. These are still the guys who are literally in that top 1% of what they do. So you have to respect that.
Well, I'm just worried with we saw all the fucking hype after his mixtape of owning kids that are 5 years younger than him.
He dropped like 30 a night.
I'm just saying, let's fucking pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on the Thon Maker.
Okay,
hype.
look, I feel like we were so far against him that Sean and I are on the same page again. We agree, podcast. That you know what?
It's coming soon, guys.
He did provide very good effort down low. He didn't get as bullied around as we expected him to. And look, he still has a very fluid shot. You know, so look. Even though he didn't make any threes, which was a little disappointing because I was looking to his range to kind of play out.
He wasn't off. He wasn't airballing. I mean, he was just hitting the rim. He just needs to become more accurate.
So look, I'm not saying it was.
And that's why I made the kind of comparison of this is what I would expect to see him in college. This is what I would expect to see.
That's the thing. He's going up against guys who we would have been playing against if he went right away and didn't take the fifth year in high school.
The one guy I'm worried about is Buddy.
Buddy
struggled.
Game. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy who played 4 years of college, was talking about Wooden Award winner. He couldn't make his shots. This is a guy who lives on shooting.
Yeah, that's his entire
game.
It's just I scored the ball well.
And the thing with a guy like Thon Maker, I mean, you know, he obviously showed his defensive game. He showed his offensive game. He showed his offensive touch around the basket. I mean, that's as much as you can ask for a guy. I mean, he showed his potential of shooting from deep, and he showed his ability to stay composed. With a guy like Buddy Hield, he was getting lost. He wasn't looking like the next star of the Pelicans. He wasn't looking like the guy who's going to be next to Anthony Davis. He didn't look ready yet, and that's very worrying to me for a guy who played 4 years of college ball. When you look at a guy like Chris Dunn, played 3 years of college ball and dominated.
Chris Dunn broke ankles game one. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed watching him play. The entire game, he was on it. He was locked in on defense. Like, he got down in that stance. He was just like, bring it. Couldn't
have pulled the trigger, could we, Garpax?
Oh, my God. Tom Thibodeau is just like, this is too easy. I mean, he's loving Chris Dunn right now. Chris Dunn not only showed
he's not even coaching him yet.
Yeah, I know. But he already showed that, fantastic passer still. We've known that. Yeah. But the fact that playing off the ball, they brought in Tyus Jones and let him run point for a little bit. And Chris Dunn was able to play the off guard and just spot up, shoot. He could take the ball. He drove. Look, he has a really good feel for the game, and I think he is just he is flourishing right now after that one game.
The thing that we say, or the thing that we're kind of saying,
it's a limited scope, but
these guys, it's a limited scope. These guys aren't playing up against complete NBA talent, and these guys aren't trying 100% outside of the guys who are trying to make an NBA team, but still. 27 points, and the way he shot, 50%, above 50% from three, above 50% from the field. I mean, he dominated. He looked like an NBA pro, and he looked like he shouldn't have been there, and he's a rookie. I mean, look at guys like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, flashy passing, but really didn't dominate the scoring-wise. Brandon Ingram was decent. He was really good. He was good scoring.
I go on about Brandon Ingram.
And he was good from the field, but Chris Dunn looked dominant.
Yeah.
He looked better than D'Angelo Russell at some points.
D'Angelo Russell and Moutier, I would even say. Yeah. I would say he looked better than both of them. Look, D'Angelo Russell and Moutier both have had 1 year in the league. Moutier dominated last year's summer league. D'Angelo Russell did pretty good. Their regular seasons, towards the end, Russell picked up to the point where we kind of expect him to be. But this is summer league, and they're getting outshined by a kid who's just coming out of college. Are you kidding me with that? D'Angelo Russell should be putting up like 30, 35 right now in summer league.
20 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Sorry,
I mean, that was
not enough.
It was impressive.
It's not enough for someone who's going to be your superstar of your team.
But I mean, look, 11 assists for a point guard that small, 6 assists. He was still the leader of that team. I think Chris Dunn did play more minutes than him.
He did play. I'll give. He took the first quarter off. Yeah, maybe.
And Russell was working on his post game. So was it a bad performance from Russell?
No, I'm not saying bad, but I feel like going against with talent wise, he should dominate.
I think he was. He was dominating.
I feel like
he was the best player on that Laker team.
Okay, I'll give you that. But like, look, we're talking
better than
dominating
the
game.
Inspector Gadget.
I think yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
was. He was. Brandon Ingram, though. Can we talk about Brandon Ingram? Because
I fucking
that
loved
man.
it. Like you were talking about Ben Simmons. I like Ben Simmons in his passing. Like but Brandon Ingram, like holy shit, this is a kid that like when he said the comment of yeah, I'm not intimidated about taking the spot of Kobe. It showed like okay, in a few years from now, we're not going to be talking about can this kid fill that hole.
He's dropping points like crazy, and his shooting motion so fluid. Oh, it's beautiful to watch him drop shots. He has a good jab step. He knows when to take it to the hole.
Body control on the foul, like the pass that he got in the foul. He didn't make it, but the body control.
His wingspan. I mean, those blocks. He just came up like
that was
I think
out of nowhere.
Tom from ESPN, I forget his last name. But he said he had pterodactyl wingspan.
Right.
It was perfect.
I like the Inspector Gadget reference better.
Yeah, no, but more how he did look like pterodactyl. How he's just like coming out.
But
like,
the arm literally, it was just like it just kept going.
Yeah,
like he just kept reaching and reaching, and it was just like he got it out of there. What was that, like 2-3 blocks?
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome to watch him play.
Yeah,
I think the Lakers have a great young core and even Zubac. Zubac looked good out there. He looks smooth. So look, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I mean, Dave and I said 2 to 3 years, Lakers are making the playoffs. With D'Angelo Russell, even if he was, I mean, the kid wasn't trying. And the kid wasn't trying, he put up 20 points.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're saying it was not impressive. It was an impressive performance for me. D'Angelo Russell can lead this team. Brandon Ingram, obviously showing he has the skill sets. I know he didn't have the best of games. He wasn't putting up 20 points, but still, for the first ever NBA debut, putting up 12 points and looking the way he did, I mean, that's going to obviously be big. We know Clarkson's potential there. And the real question was, how are they going to fill the hole in the middle? And Zubac had a really good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he'll be suitable for it. I think he'll get more minutes as the season goes. It was early look plus his Euro play. We've seen the tape on that, so he definitely can fill in right away for this team. But they're going to probably move him in over time. It's a transitionary period for them.
And I mean, you've said it time and time before. Your 2 to 3 years are a playoff team. I looked at this team in summer league and I went, okay, I can maybe see the point to where I can't say no for sure. The only thing that is going to not hinder, that's not the word I want to use, but their biggest obstacle that they're going to have to overcome is with the Western Conference. I feel like there's going to be more good teams than there are playoff spots.
But also, there's
that's going to be the biggest obstacle.
But you look at that, and there's teams that are definitely going to be falling out. I mean, if we look at San Antonio, I'm not saying they're going to ever fall. I mean, with Kawhi and LaMarcus, they're not going to fall out of the playoff spot, but they're obviously going to decrease a little bit because they're losing all these vets that did keep them up there. Golden State's obviously not going to change, especially if they keep around KD. Oklahoma's obviously going to be different because we don't know if Russ is going to be staying. You're saying Russ is leaving. If he goes to a Western Conference team, then that team's probably going to take a jump.
For the sake of argument, let's say Russ stays.
Yeah.
Let's say he stays.
So I would say Oklahoma would consistently be a playoff team.
They'd still be in the playoffs. To me, it's the Mavericks and the Rockets. You're out. And then
you got to talk about Los Angeles if Chris Paul leaves or Blake.
For the sake of argument, let's just look at this year. This year, let's not look to the future yet. As of right now, if everything stays the same, Mavericks and Rockets, you're out. Everybody outside of the playoffs, Jazz are getting better.
Well, I don't think
Nuggets are getting better.
I don't think the Lakers make it this year.
T-Wolves are getting better.
Yeah, I don't think they make Lakers.
And the Lakers. There are 4 teams that, as the years go on, they could get added into the pot, and there's only 8 spots. Yeah. There's only 8 spots to work with.
See, if we look at this, I mean, if we're looking at 2 years from now, if we're looking 2 years from now, when I think the Lakers can make that jump up, Minnesota's going to be in there for sure. Minnesota's definitely going to be in there.
Especially if Chris Dunn plays like he has been in the summer league.
I mean, this team's going to be near the top. Golden State's going to be in it unless KD moves or unless something crazy happens.
Because of their cap ceiling debacle.
Or say Steph has a lot of issues injury-wise or something like that. So Golden State, if everything stays the same with them, Minnesota's going to jump up. San Antonio's a team that I could see fall, but I don't think they're going to fall out.
They've got the young guys coming in, the Dejounte Murray.
But how long will it take Murray to take?
Kyle Anderson. Yeah.
But how long will it take Murray to develop?
Do you really think they're going to fall completely out of the playoffs?
No, that's why I said I think they'll fall a little bit. Yeah, that's why I said I think they'll fall a little bit.
They've got enough talent who are already at their peaks or in their prime right now. Plus, they keep bringing in these young, smart guys. I think this team just keeps reloading.
OKC is definitely different though.
OKC is a different case
because we have the pending Russ free agency. We don't know what he'll do. Contract wise, will he do a 1-1? Will we see the cap jump up a different year? Because I think now it's going to be 102 instead of 107. I think early reports are saying that.
Yeah.
So
and Oladipo is free at that point too.
Oladipo's free. I think Adams' contract will be coming up. Cantor's contract will be coming up. So that might be a completely different look there. Los Angeles Clippers, they're getting older. I mean, CP3's getting older. Even if he leaves, Blake, he hasn't been the healthiest guy there. DeAndre Jordan isn't a superstar. He's a very good player, and he's a very good defensive player, and he's very good finishing around the rim, very good rebounder. But I don't think he's going to be the star of any team there.
But will it be worth a max contract in the new league? Probably. Why not?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, yeah. But Portland, I mean, that one's kind of difficult there too, because how much can Dame get help there? And will Dame want to stay there? Will CJ still be able to be performing the way he is? Dallas is out because they're going to be losing Dirk, and they're going to need to start rebuilding. Utah is definitely interesting.
The fact that they had
there's a lot of teams
too.
There's a lot of teams, but I still think the Lakers are going to be a good enough team. They're going to be well coached with Luke Walton. I think they have the right vision in place. Did they have one of the worst signings in free agency with Timothy Mozgov? Yes, but was it a nonsensical signing? No. I mean, looking at the contract and looking at the player, it was a bad signing. Does it make sense a little bit? Yeah, you can see what they're doing there. But they did have good signings with obviously Luol Deng. We forgot about him.
Yep.
But yeah, no, there's a lot to like about this Laker team, and if he could stay healthy, I think this team can make the playoffs.
They're going to grow really well.
Yeah, and with obviously D'Angelo Russell playing fantastic in summer league, played fantastic in his first league first year when he was actually getting playing time, and we obviously talked enough about Brandon Ingram because this kid's fantastic, and if Zubac can develop into the guy he is, and if they keep their third pick, or if they're in the top 3 next year,
that's a tricky thing. Are they going to be in the top 3?
But I think they don't even need that. That's just going to be another added bonus if they do get that.
I think it's either
it doesn't hurt.
It's either you need it or you hit a home run on a Russell Westbrook in free agency. You need one of the two.
I think this team with the players in place can make the playoffs still.
I think this team can
still make the playoffs.
There are still things you need to add to it.
You need
to
a
make
big
it
man.
Better.
You need a big man, but Zubac can be that big man. You don't need a star. You got 2 possible stars
with no draft pick and.
You have 2 possible stars.
If you don't have a draft pick, you have to get something in free agency. That's the thing the Lakers have to do.
But the thing is, teams need a star, and they have 2 potential stars there, in D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Ingram. 2.
Oh, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
And they've got good contributors in Clarkson and Randall and Larry Nance even. Nance always has energy. Like, that man runs miles every game.
And we'll see how Mozgov recovers. We obviously talked about Deng. I mean, there's a lot that this Laker team has right now, and it's just about growing and developing. And by 2 years, I think they'll be there. I think they'll be there and ready to compete. I don't think you need to hit a home run for agency. Would it hurt? No. I don't think you need a top 3 pick. Would it hurt? No. But then again, if they do get a top 3 pick, I mean, we're talking about this year. Maybe they're trading this number 2 for a guy like Jahlil Okafor. Maybe they get a pick next year and they say, well, we need inside presence. With DeMarcus Cousins continuously rumored, maybe we go out and get him. Ja, maybe he doesn't fit in. Maybe they need help in Philly because they have a lot of bigs there. Maybe we move that.
Here's the only reason why I think that pick is so important. If this draft class coming up is as good as we say it's going to be, it's going to be like, man, the Lakers fucking got robbed by not having a pick with this one.
Yeah, could they obviously be missing out? Yes, but I don't think that hurts them that much where they're not a playoff team because they didn't get a draft pick in 2017.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
If it's a player that can come in and help them immediately, it's kind of like saying if they didn't have the pick this year, would you have been, they didn't get a Brandon Ingram type player? Did
if
it
they didn't
hurt
have
them?
a pick this year, it would be awful.
But how many players that are really outside of the first overall pick come in and help immediately?
In a top 3 pick?
No, the first overall pick. Name how many players come in and help immediately.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Like, outside of Darko Milicic because they won a championship.
Of course you would have to. You got to hit on the pick, but I still think with this draft, top 3, you're getting a prime player that can come in and help you.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of
but my
hype
thing
right
is,
now.
I don't think you need it.
I think, yeah, you do. You need one more thing to help this team.
Okay, you need something, but you don't need another star. You don't need another star. You don't.
I'm not saying go out there and get a star. I'm saying go out there and get something that can help you.
If you're going top 3, it's going to most likely be a star. The way you're talking about, you're saying they need another
Giles
star.
Jackson and Furtz, right?
Giles would be the perfect one because he's a power forward.
But really, I mean, with this Laker team, you have 2 stars in Russell and Ingram, and you just need another guy like a DeAndre Jordan or a guy like a kind of like a DeMarcus Cousins who can make just or an Al Horford, Paul Millsap, a guy who can be a great rebounder and a great scorer underneath the basket. You don't need a guy who can do everything and be the guy that you need to go to in late game situations because you have a guy like that in Brandon Ingram.
They have a very good core.
But why wouldn't you want to add another
That's
piece
why I said
like
it
that
doesn't
and
hurt,
grow
but
them
you don't
together?
need it. I'm not saying
it's not like
it
Luke isn't going to sit there and pull his people in the fourth quarter just so they can maintain that draft pick.
I don't know. He comes from that warrior mindset, Dave.
Yeah.
They don't play the fourth.
That's
because
they're up by 30. There's a difference between
30 every game.
Yeah. Say, look, well, I don't think this team is going to necessarily be out of the top or the bottom 10. So there's always that percentage chance they could get it. NBA Magic, lottery, who knows? They could still get their top 3 and be the 8th worst team in the league instead of, the 3rd. But I really think that they have a solid core of guys already. They don't, with Sean, they don't need someone. It would be great if they got someone. But this team is still, if everybody stays and everybody grows at the rate we expect them to, they're still going to be in the playoffs in 2 years, 3 years. Like, it's right there.
And we talked the summer league, and one guy I didn't mention that I do want to mention, Demetrius Jackson was playing pretty well in the summer league. He only started 1 game, but he did pretty well shooting wise and from 3-point line. I like
of course,
DJ.
he's going to throw a Fighting Irish in there.
Hey, Ben Bentil didn't do too hot, so I have to root for something.
Yep.
I love Ben, but he didn't shoot that well. But yeah, it's gonna wrap it up. We also talked about the Lakers, and I think
for like an hour. I feel.
I think they're gonna be close. I think they're going to be a playoff team in 2 to 3 years. Ricky thinks they need a big splash quick.
They're going to be a playoff team. I just feel like you need something.
LA
to jumpstart
demands
it.
you have a superstar and a winning team.
And the question to end this podcast is, what do you think the Lakers should be doing? Do you think they're on the right track and don't need to add another player? And do you think they should be trying to win now and just trying to see what they have in this year? Or do you think they're like Ricky? Do you think they should kind of hit the brake a little and kind of go for that top 3? Or do you think they should go out and get a huge splash in free agency next year? Or do you think they should wait and let's see what they have in Russell and Ingram? So tell us down below.
Something to pop that steroids in there, push you over the market, push you into that playoff.
Over the 17 win mark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this podcast. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Schwarbo. You can follow Ricky Widmer over there on Twitter at Ricky Widmer. And you can follow Dave
at
on
the
Twitter
underscore.
At Dave_tweet. Dave, Dave, you messed it up. You can follow Dave on Twitter. Dave at Dave_don't_tweet. You can follow Most Valuable Pod on Twitter at Twitter. At Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. You can find us on Snapchat at Most Valuable Pod. If you're listening on SoundCloud, hit that like button, hit that repost button. If you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button down there. Subscribe to our channel. We're growing every single day, and it's been fantastic to see. Also, we're roasting someone from MVP at 3,000 subs, so do not forget to do that. But that's going to wrap up this podcast, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod for more great podcasts.